us know in the comments your thoughts on this crazy paranormal event. No. Oh, what?
Hey Paranormies, it's Jen and Alice, and you're on the light side of the paranormal. So in today's video, we are back at Alice's salon, not to investigate, and you'll find out why, but to let you know all the crazy stuff that has been happening since we did our intense investigation a couple of weeks ago. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll put the link right here. Go check it out, and then come back here and listen to all the crazy stuff that has been going on since we stirred the pot.
Things have gotten pretty spooky. Where do I even begin? This is getting really out of hand, and you know it takes a lot to get me scared, especially when it comes to the paranormal, but like, I've reached the point now. I'm scared. My coworkers are getting scared to come to work. I'm getting scared to come to work. Even clients are having experiences and like picking up vibes, and needless to say, if you don't know already, we are going to be moving salon locations. More to come that way, but we're all just that much more eager to get the heck out of here. So things really started to happen during our first haunted doll investigation that we did here, and if you haven't seen that already, definitely go and watch that. That's when things really took a turn, because it was hijacked by this male spirit.
You had to be there?
I totally heard that.
Call the police?
Where are you? What is this doll holding?
I just felt something tap me on the shoulder.
Ooh.
Like a tap tap.
Why are you trying to get a hold of Jenna?
Yup. Deep man's voice. I felt something touch my leg.
You're looking to get our attention. You can tell us why.
Again, on my leg.
Are you of love and light?
She's really good looking.
Okay, well, she's married, unfortunately.
How could you? Make sure to...
Make sure to what?
A little kiss.
Okay, sir, we're in the middle of something. Thank you.
Play games.
Excuse
This area, bad.
Why is it bad?
Oh my god, okay. Okay, I'm getting tapped on this side. I'm getting touched on this side. And I just feel like there's something negative going on. I don't know what you were getting. But there was a man's voice, and every time he would come on, I would just feel uncomfortable. And I keep feeling like it has nothing to do with her, and it has something to do with over here, apartment-wise. Either right over here or over here and upstairs. As soon as I started to think, you're not a part of this, you're from over here and I don't like it, he went, ha 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 ha. And then this loud beat, and I was like, no. You wouldn't want to be alone in a room with this man when he was living. And when he was touching my leg, was like, so I'm sitting here cross-legged, was like my upper thigh. And then again, and then did it say, how could you do that?
Yeah, because I said she's married.
I didn't say anything because I wasn't going to say anything, but now that it's relating, I will say something. Right before it said that, something touched me very close to my crotch. And then it said, how could you do that? It was a woman that said, how could you do that?
Oh. That was when we first were introduced to this person. Then we actually set out to communicate with him specifically after being validated with information in regards to a man that unfortunately passed away in this building years prior. And the more information we got about that man, the more validity we got to the responses from that spirit box session. And while someone was in here getting their hair cut, he said, hey, did you know so-and-so that used to own a business in this building unalived himself in the upstairs apartment? I did not know any of that. Now we're understanding why his spirit could be here, but to push it even another step further, he said, you know, I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but he was quite the creep. And he said, well, you know, he was an older guy, and he often made really crude comments to women, and he was like the kind of guy that would like be super flirty in like really inappropriate situations. This guy doesn't know that we have this channel and that like he hasn't seen that video. It's not like he was playing into what our experience was. Like, so then we set out to speak to him specifically in its own video, boop, spirit box session. And we got so many comments on this, like, that was the most uncomfortable I've ever been during a spirit box session. You can see it on my face.
It's actually important to note that, like, in our first interaction here, which was supposed to be with the doll, and this spirit ended up hijacking it, there was so much mention about how uncomfortable I looked. And then in the second video, the comment section was flooded with how uncomfortable you looked.
Yes.
And
that's true.
Out of all the investigations we've done and out of all of the videos and paranormal topics we've talked about, this has been the place that has made it obvious to you guys that we were feeling off.
Mm-hmm. And we appreciate how perceptive you are, and thank you for checking in on us.
Yeah, you weren't wrong.
No, it was definitely very clear, and I can say, like, from my personal end of things, what I was displaying non-verbally was exactly how I felt. And you too.
Yeah.
We got a lot of really creepy, uncomfortable, intelligent, terrifying responses, especially during that second spirit box session that we did.
Scanning. Effort.
It's never done that
Never.
before.
Never.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I just felt something touch my knee. Please don't touch us. Where are you right now, sir? Can you see us where you are? When did you pass away? How did you pass?
I thought I heard keys out there, like jingling keys.
Did you see me get changed in the bathroom? See?
Sound like keys.
Like, that was a weird sound, but then when you said it, I totally heard it. Is our door locked? Do you recognize one of us?
Really? It's like, hey, covering its mouth.
I think I heard the word I just said, but it's all distorted.
Since that session, things have begun, if you will. It's turned into, from feeling something here and there, to a full-on haunting.
Yes, like, this place is without a doubt actively haunted. It's funny, the girls out at work are all like, what have you woken up? What did you do? We have to sage this place. But like, low-key, I want to see where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not residual. This
Oh.
is intelligent and active. If you saw my comment on that second spirit box session video that we did communicating with him, I had said when we asked the Alexa to play music, like play us something, like play a playlist or play us something random, she plays indigenous music. And we gained information about the man who passed away here. He was of indigenous descent. Although it's beautiful, we have never put on indigenous music at the salon before. And she'll say things like, here's one of your favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll just start blaring. Like, it's so weird. We had never ever heard it here before.
Because that's not something we knew about him going into things. It's something we found out after.
Mm-hmm.
And for it to say, we'll play one of your favorites, and then for it to be that is more than a coincidence.
For sure. Also, previous to filming that spirit box session video, the second one, I'm going to refer to that video a lot just because it's our most recent communication with him. So previous to that, so we know that this client didn't just watch our video and then try and feed me information. This is before. She was getting her hair done here with me, and she was like, oh, I'm just going to use the bathroom. And she came back and she was like, there is the creepiest feeling in your bathroom. Like, I had the feeling of being watched, and I could feel like a male energy, and I was like, no, we don't have that here. Absolutely not. It's good vibes. Like, what? And she's like, it creeped me out. Like, I rushed because I wanted to get out of there.
Ever since you have been in this building, I have always felt like someone is watching me from behind the vent on the floor. Like, I've always...
What?
To the point that I have... Yeah, no, I haven't told you this before. To the point that I have gotten on my hands and knees and, like, looked in there for a camera.
Like, in the bathroom?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I'm, like, sitting there, like, watching it, like...
Whoa!
Yeah, it's very creepy.
Okay, so that is all very weird in itself. Here's when things really blew up. Maybe like a week later, after that spirit box session, I was working alone, nighttime, in the salon. I was closing up. It was really late. And so it was dark outside, light in the salon, obviously. And when I close, I start at the back of the salon and I work my way towards the door and then I leave. So I started at the back, this is where the back rooms are, turned off the light, and then started making my way through, cleaning things up, and I get to the door to go to leave, and I realize, oh crap, I left my phone in the color bar. We have a color mixing room in one of the back rooms. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go into the dark and get my phone. So the light is on in the main area of the salon. This back room, the light is off. I'm walking towards the room, door is open. Into the darkness, that is only getting like a little afterglow from the rest of the salon, I see a silhouette of a man standing in the room. Okay? It wasn't like a full-on shadow person. It was like a weird silhouette of like a kind of bald, broad shoulders, tall man. Me being me, I was like, don't be a little B-word, Alice. You go in that room and you get your phone. So I walk into the room, and I'm like, don't rush. You don't want him to know that you're scared of him. You have to be confident. So I walk in there, I grab my phone, and when I'm at the color bar getting my phone, I can feel the warmth of a body in front of me. Like the heat of a fully alive human body. We all know what that's felt like, standing too close to somebody in line or at a concert or something. That's what it felt like. And so then I was like, okay, I swallowed, grabbed my phone, and very calmly left the room, even though everything in me was like, run, run, run. But I was like, don't look back and don't act scared. You need to show this person that you're not afraid of them. So then I grab my keys and I lock up and I leave. That was hands down like one of the scariest things that's happened to me in a long time. Yes, I experience clairvoyance quite a lot, but the validation of the warmth of a body made it so much more real, and it was so scary. And I was here alone at night, like I'm like rushing to my car with my keys in my fist, that's when things really started to actually emotionally affect me.
We didn't know what this man looked like in his living years, but I had said to Alice, after the first interaction with him, I was wearing the headphones and we were doing an Estes method, and I got a very clear picture of what this man looked like. And I also pinpointed where he was located in the building, which turned out to be right. But then I asked you, do you know what he looks like? Because I know what he looks like, or I think I know, and you were like, no,
I said no, yeah.
And then I asked Gavin, I was like, hey, because this person owned a company that I thought Gavin might know. It's in the trades, Gavin's in the trades. And I was like, hey, have you heard of this person? He was like, yeah, I think I know who that was. He died not that long ago, right? And I was like, yes. He used to be at Alice's salon, and then he unfortunately unalived himself upstairs. And Gavin was like, oh, I remember hearing about that. And I said, do you know what he looks like? And he was like, yeah, and then I was like, don't tell me. I'm gonna tell you what I think he looks like, and you tell me if I'm right. And so I said it, and he was like, yeah, that's him.
We have this letter board, and we put cute little like inspirational messages on it for the clients. This has had the same message on it now for over a year. So we haven't touched it because it's special, because the client came up with that. And the letters have been solid on there since then. And again, since that spirit box session, those letters have been individually popping off. And it's not just me that's noticed it. Actually, before I even mentioned it to my coworkers, one of them came up to me and was like, what's going on with the letter board? Like, I keep walking by and I notice the letters off, and then I put it back on, I walk by again, different letters off. I've been seeing it too, and it's so weird because it's so consistent and it's always a different letter. Unfortunately, I did not think to write them down during like the busyness of the day-to-day work life, but I did write down the ones that I do recall, as well as we actually had that happen earlier when we just got here. Mm-hmm. So I wrote those down too.
This letter board, the going rogue.
Yes.
Oh, M and I are down.
Really?
Okay, dude, I swear.
What?
When I came in here,
Yes.
that they were all there because I looked.
What?
And now
These are the letters, to my knowledge, that have fallen off so far. It's like bingo. We have an E, an M, an R, and an I.
if that M is upside down, all we need is a D and it's weird.
Oh. It could be.
Yeah, weird.
And it's important to mention that when those letters fell off when we got here, when Jen approached the board, her ears started ringing like crazy.
Yeah, which is something that happens to me often in the presence of something paranormal.
I've had multiple clients who I know are sensitive to energies comment that they feel a male energy here. This was before and after filming videos about this guy, but I do feel the need to mention that it's not just me and it's not just us that are feeling this. It's like many, many people. So yesterday, things got extra crazy. So all the hairstylists that work here, including myself, have what we call hair dates, and that's when we take over the salon on a day off, a day that we're closed, and do each other's hair like a little assembly line. I'm a believer, as you know, and my two co-artists are kind of on the fence. Like, they're not hard skeptics, but they've never had a paranormal experience before that would let them believe. Until yesterday. One of their husbands was here as well, who's a hard skeptic. Okay, so we're all in here doing each other's hair, and we keep the door locked because we are closed. And we hear 3 very distinct knocks on the door. And so we're like, oh, maybe someone's here and they want to get in, book an appointment or something. We go over, we inspect, nobody's there. One of the girls that I work with poked her head out, looked around, nobody's there. So then we're like, oh, that's weird, and come back in and start doing each other's hair again. We're all just chatting, doing each other's hair, and then we hear, like, in the hallway entrance area that's in a separate room from the salon, we hear what sounds like, it's so hard to describe because it was so strange, but we all heard it, all 4 of us heard it. This old radio sound of like a man talking. It kind of sounded like a walkie-talkie, or even like, picture what voices sound like on the spirit box, but without all the white noise in the background. I could not make out what was said, but it like caught us all off guard. Like, we all looked towards the entrance, like it freaked us out. Like, we didn't know what it was. And then it was followed by this distorted baby crying sound. Like, I wish that I was making this up. We all just like our jaws dropped open. We had to take 5, like we couldn't do hair for a few minutes because it was so intense, and then I had to call Jen.
And I was with family at a Dairy Queen, and so she tells me all this stuff, and I kind of got up and went into a corner so I could hear her better. When I'm done on the phone with her, I hang up and I go and sit down back at the table, and the light of the table in front of us starts strobing like crazy. But it was like the table behind ours. So nobody else saw it except for me. And then someone was trying to tell me something, and I was like, okay, hang on. This light won't stop doing this. And it wasn't doing this before. And everyone turns around and like, oh, that's weird. And then it just stopped. When everyone acknowledged it, it stopped. And it wasn't like, like a flickering fluorescent light. It was like a domed light that comes over your booth table.
That's not a coincidence. Like, how? And so we were all freaked out, even the hard skeptic. Like, none of us, we all heard it. We all experienced that together, which I'm kind of grateful for. Like, seeing is believing, right? And it's not my mission to, like, convince everyone that the paranormal, but it was really cool to share that with them, but it was also so freaking scary because it's intensifying, right? I don't know how far this is gonna go, but it's only getting more and more intense and more like in this physical realm. After this big intense moment happened with the radio voice thing, we were all just like dumbfounded and completely silent for like 10 minutes straight. Just silent, doing hair, because we're all just processing that. And then finally I was like, okay, I have to break the silence. As I mentioned before, we are gonna be relocating our salon to a different building, and found out that that building's haunted, which is a selling feature for me. So I wanted to mention how the new salon's haunted. And so I said, even the new salon is haunt. And when I said haunt, not even the full word, when I said haunt, the Alexa, which was completely off, turned on full blast, like really angry metal music. Like, we couldn't even hear each other talk. Like, it was, and it scared the crap out of us because it was so quiet. And then when I said the word haunted, it was like, oh my gosh. And I'm pretty familiar with a lot of metal. I can't say that I've heard every single metal song in the world, but it wasn't something that we had playing before or something that I recognized or anything. Like, it was completely quiet, and then this intense song. It didn't even sound like the beginning of a song. It sounded like halfway through in the like most intense part of the song. I don't know. Like, so much of this, I'm just sitting here like, what the hell? And so then they just started freaking out, right? Like, for me, I was freaking out, but they don't experience things like this all the time. There's 4 of us in here, right? So they're like screaming, like we're like, and then I was picking up on their energy as an empath, and I'm like almost in tears because like it's just so many things in a row. Like, I can't even breathe because it's just getting more and more intense. And yeah, it got to the point where like one of the girls that I work with was like, we gotta sage this place, we gotta, cleanse this because you opened something, you opened a door that I don't think you know how to close. And then it really hit me and it sunk in. This is the first time that I know of that I've intentionally woken something up and am now suffering the consequences of that. I think it's safe to say that I made 3 believers that day. And it was the day of the blood moon. So this last thing, it's possible that it's a separate paranormal event, but I still think that it's worth mentioning. Today, it was my day off, and I decided I was going to clean my house. So I was cleaning my kitchen. My house is not open concept. When my husband Chris, you may have seen him on our channel before, when he gets home, he does this very specific hello thing. And then I know that he's home and I go, hello. I'm cleaning my kitchen and I hear him go, hello. And I was like, that's weird. Like, he's not supposed to be home for another 3 hours. I like poked my head out to see if he just walked in. Nothing's there. I was like, that's weird. Maybe I'm just hearing things. And then I get back to cleaning and a little bit louder I heard, hello, in his same voice. And I was like, oh my God, like maybe he's outside because I had the windows open. Maybe he was just messing with me because he knew I was home. So I'm looking outside, looking all around the house out of all the windows. Nobody's there. I was like, that's weird. I get back to the kitchen. I pick up my rag one more time. My phone rings. It's Chris. And he goes, hello, babe. I just wanted to see if you were home. Those 2 times weren't him. Could this entity be learning people who I love and trust mannerisms and voices? Like, it's getting really scary, you guys. Like, I'm at a loss for words, At first I was like, oh, that's a funny little paranormal thing, haha, as if he were to call, like it must be a psychic thing. No, like when I really started thinking about it, that's dark as hell. And that's really, really scary.
Originally, when you called me yesterday, I was like, okay, like, are we doing a full investigation at the salon then tomorrow night, which is tonight? And you were like, no.
Yeah, sorry.
Like, no, we need to just chill on the investigating for a little bit because you have to work here.
We will definitely do an investigation here, But I'd prefer if it was just a little bit closer to my move out date in case things get like even more intense or possibly aggressive. Like, we know that this is a negative situation. Like, normally I find a lot of comfort in the fact that we're communicating with those of love and light. I'm not fully convinced that this person or their intentions or who they may be connected to is of love and light. So as much as I want to do this for you right away, and this is a huge cliffhanger, I also just really beg you to understand that, like, this is a place that I have to be all the time. And I have a business to run, and, like, I can't have, like, clients being run out of here, you know? It is already picking up more and more and more without us meddling, I'll say. So I think that it would be safe to assume that things are going to continue that way, whether we play or not. Between now and when we do end up investigating again in here, if anything happens, you will be the first to know, and I'm going to try and grab my phone or something and film it to the best of my abilities, because I know that this is not the last that we're going to hear from this guy. Let us know in the comments your thoughts on this crazy paranormal event. Oh, what?
Why do I always feel things touching my hair?
Because you're clairsentient, baby.
I felt this.
Oh, paranormal event? Oh, what?
Okay. It's funny though, right before I felt that, I did a double take because I thought I saw like a white, like, wispy thing behind you.
Your thoughts on this crazy paranormal event? Oh, what?
Weird.
That's weird. See, things are already happening.
It smells like feet in here. Do you smell that?
Like, it might be my
No, it's not. We've been sitting here together this whole time. I just got a huge whiff of feet.
Oh, when I went looking for it, I definitely found it. Yeah, that's...
Not a fun smell.
And your shoes are new, so it wouldn't be your shoes.
No, they've been off this whole time.
Right, like,
I
we
said,
would have
this-
smelled...
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are on all of this crazy stuff that's happening. One like equals one prayer for me, so...
So give that like button a little boop. It helps us out a lot. Yeah, leave all of your comments down below. We'll try to interact with all of you.
I especially want to hear about your thoughts on the Chris's voice possibly being mimicked situation. Give me some guidance, friends. I'm freaked out. I'm not going to lie about it. It takes me a lot to get here, but I'm here. All the way here. Scared. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications if you don't want to miss a single update from what is turning into the most intense paranormal experience of my life. And as always, live your life with love and light.
And keep on creeping on.
Bye.
Bye.